The Air Force One. Air Force One. The Air Force One. The Air Force One. Where it started, who set the trend, who's still setting the trend to this day. Let's talk about it. What's up, world? It's your boy Iconic, back again with another video. And yes, sir, we are back in the sneaker room, back with another conversation. But before we get started with this video, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also that notification bell so you can stay in tune with the reviews, the on feats, the sneaker line, the sneaker news, and everything else that comes with the channel. I thank y'all for watching, man. Not gonna waste any more time, y'all. Let's get into it. Boom, we have it here, man. Y'all saw the intro, and we have another pickup. The website I got this from is called Revolve. I got these joints for $66 plus shipping, which was $7, so about $71. No, it was about $4, so it was like $71, $72. Anyway, but yeah, I got it from Revolve. A very, very dope sneaker, a cult classic, by the way. And again, for it to retail for $150, I got these joints for $66 plus shipping. Box label reads Air Force One Low Retro PRM QS, which is premium quick strike. Colorway is white, element gold, blanc, or fundamental, and this is a size 10.5. I told y'all before, man, I am a size 11 now, but in Air Force Ones, I do get a 10.5 because they fit just right. Boom, we have it here, man, the Nike Air Force One Ivory Snake, man. Let me go ahead and bring that down a little bit because I know that's gonna be a little bright, but yeah, man, the Air Force One Ivory Snake, that might be a little bright for y'all, but man, such a beautiful shoe, man. Originally a Japan release, but they re-released it, I believe, 2 times, and this makes it the 3rd time. Yeah, I think this is the 3rd time. One in 1996, another retro like 2019 or something like that, and then we got this 3rd retro right here in 2024. A cult classic, man. This was a part of the cult classic series. And man, this is one of the ones when I was growing up, man, seeing sneaker collections, looking up to people like Fat Joe, the mayor and all that. This is one of the ones that, you know, always kind of came up in the conversation at some point. They used to get dummy stuff and like that snakeskin stuff, but this Ivory Snake Air Force One was one of the ones, you feel what I'm saying? So just having it is pretty dope. I'm glad I have it in the collection. And again, this shoe retailed for $150. When Nike dropped it, was $150. And it's just crazy to see that I was able to get these joints for $66, man. So more than half off. Again, man, shout out to Revolve for their Black Friday sale. And I usually don't buy Air Force Ones all whites. I feel like when you buy the Air Force One out of the store, this is just my opinion, the all white one has shitty leather, has very terrible laces, and it's always kind of a hit or miss. You never know what you're gonna get. But with this one right here, man, this one right here is the one, bro. This one right here is the one. For the price, I had to cop, and then it was one I wanted. I went for it on the app and I missed, but you know, it sat around on sites almost for like 6 months, bro. So for it to be $66, $70, man, after shipping is like so worth it. Quality is there, and I'm glad I got it. But the hoopla that's going on in the sneaker world, right? Let me bring this back up. Bring this back open. But the hoopla in the sneaker world right now is who set the trend for Air Force Ones? Well, technically, let's start from the beginning, right? Technically in real time, let me go back up. Oh, that's too bright. Technically in real time, bruh, it all started in 1982, right? The Air Force One itself was just supposed to be like a performance basketball shoe. Was the first one to have air in it, right? High top, mid top, whatever you want to kind of call it. And that's where it kind of started, right? After so long, you know, Nike was selling the shoe. It was actually supposed to get like discontinued for a while. But around that time, they were selling out. But out in Baltimore, they started developing something to where they would get specific colors, and they started the Color of the Month program. I think we think of it now as Color of the Month when we see a shoe. But they started the whole Color of the Month aspect, and people would have to come from different cities, different states, to go to Baltimore to get the shoe, which would be something like, you'll see something crazy like this up in Baltimore because they would have these type of colors. It wasn't an everyday thing in other cities. And when they got ready to discontinue it, Baltimore was like the only place they had these type of colorways and had the shoe available at the time. People were going and leaving from New York and all these other places to go cop 5, 6, 7 pairs of Color of the Months because they were so cheap, and on top of that, they had the fly colorways. So that's just a little sneaker history on that. But I want people to clearly know I wasn't outside for that, right? I just know about it just from, you know, a little bit of getting some information from people from New York, online, and everything in between. But in me personally, man, being from the South, I remember Nelly making the Air Force One hot. For me, not for everybody, but for me. But maybe for the world too. That Air Force One song was crazy. Through the 90s, specifically all the way up to like 1996 when you saw this joint right here, right? Because this released in 1996 first, different shape, all that stuff, but this shoe right here technically, right? This shoe technically here released in 1996, and during the time frame of the 90s, the Air Force One had a great run, and a lot of times when you were hearing about Air Force Ones, it was a New York thing. I'm not gonna take anything from New York, bro, because I think sometimes, as far as the world seeing fashion online, they start thinking, oh, well, we started this, you know, this area can't dress, this can't, man, listen, me being from the South, bro, people always talked about going to New York, getting the fly clothes, getting the fly shoes, and then coming back south. But yeah, when we talk about the Air Force One, man, I feel like New York has always had a chokehold on the Air Force One, right? Or the Air Force One had a chokehold on New York. I feel like it was super popular because of New York during the 90s. And I feel like in the early 2000s, you started seeing like it being more of a like, again, after Nelly dropped that song, more of a like a regional down south thing. Even though, which is crazy, I think St. Louis is considered the Midwest. But anyway, I feel like with him being like country, you know, having that sound, to us in the South, especially in Florida, I feel like the Air Force One became a thing. And it wasn't always lows or those super highs. To me in the South, bro, we would wear the mids, you feel me? We would wear the mids down here in the South, bro, because the mids, like, they were a little statement piece, bro. Like the all whites, that mid used to go crazy. Nobody was really rocking the lows to me down here besides women at the time when I was younger. That's just from my analogy, right? I think the men used to always wear the mids or the highs. That's just what I remember as a kid. But yeah, man, coming from the South, in my opinion, man, early 2000, after hearing the Nelly Air Force One song, I feel like it was just a hot commodity around the South, around the world. And a lot of people try to associate the Air Force One with just Nelly. But I do feel like he had a very big impact. I'm not taking that away from him. But if we talk about where it started, where it was trendy, I for sure would say New York, right? I can't proclaim that the South has the wave of Air Force Ones. I cannot say that, bro. That's definitely like a uptown, New York, out-of-state thing. For me, I would say like, and maybe just me being from Florida, maybe I may be wrong, right? But being from Florida, I feel like we wore Air Force Ones, whites, mids, sometimes highs at some point, but not as much highs or mids now because like the lows is everything. But I would say personally, like being from the South, to me, it was always about like Reeboks. A lot of like trainers, to me, in my opinion, a lot of trainers, Bo Jacksons, Deons, Griffey's. So to me, I feel like being from the South, being at least from Florida, right? It's always been like trainers, Jordans, white Air Force Ones, black Air Force Ones. Before it was like black Air Force One activity, people used to wear black Air Forces, bro. And I think me in high school, even being where I was from, like what high school I went to, people wore Forces. They wore different color ones too. So I personally believe that Air Force One is a trend that belongs to New York, right? I think for the longest, they are the ones that have been holding it down. They wear New York. I feel like in New York, they wear Air Force Ones no matter if it's in style or out of style, right? And you got to give them props for that, bro. I think a lot of times nowadays, people just be talking. And I saw this post, I think, from No Ideas Original, or it was somewhere. I don't know. It was somewhere on Instagram. And someone's like, what shoe can the South proclaim? And somebody said Air Force Ones. I can't agree with that. I totally disagree. But I may be wrong. Being from Florida, we wear Forces. That's not something that, it's not like we don't do that. But I just can't say that like as a whole entirety of the South, that was a main shoe that we kind of like grip the trend on, if that makes any sense, because Air Force One's gonna sell regardless, bro. Like no matter where you at, no matter if you in the middle of anywhere, Milwaukee, you feel what I'm saying? If you in Georgia, if you in Mississippi, if you in Cali, the Air Force One gonna sell, right? That's just a natural thing, right? Talk about highs, lows, mids. New York been going crazy, bro. Been going crazy. And that's just me. I ain't rotting. I ain't trying to be, you know, I ain't glazing or nothing. Pause. I ain't glazing or nothing, but I'm just saying, just me being aware like of the culture of sneakers, the community of sneakers. I feel like a lot of times for me, why I liked a lot of shoes, because people from up top in New York was wearing it. So I feel like my little bit of knowledge of the Air Force One is why I bought the linens. That's why I got the linens. That's why I got the Terror Squad Air Force Ones. That's why I got the Four Horsemen LeBron joint. You feel me? It's levels to it, bro. It's levels to it. We can't skip it. That's why I got the color of the month. You feel me? It's levels to it. And I think sometimes when people don't understand, like when you're really into sneakers, it's like it's a purpose behind it, right? It's one of them shoes I'm gonna throw on, especially around this time of winter. You do your little fall colors with this. Maybe I'll keep it, I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as possible because I'm not a guy that wears my Air Force Ones and beats them to death. Something like this, I'll probably wear out, tuck them away again, you feel me? You know, I'll probably tuck these away, wear them one time and tuck them away for a while, keep them clean, you know, because it's a special shoe. It ain't just one you just rock and beat up. I be seeing people get these filthy and dirty, but to me, this is one of them dope shoes that you can't like pass up on and you don't want to mess up fast. You know, if I could double back and get a second pair, I probably will. Maybe I'm out of my league, you feel what I'm saying? But I just know growing up, man, only time I saw forces like that was that, you know, my high school era, 2006 to like 2000, I mean, not 2006, but 2007 to about 2011, early 2007, like a lot of dope Air Force Ones on shelves and selling. But nowadays, you know what I mean? Like people don't have that same steam or that same feel for it. But I would say New York still has that feel. No matter if Air Force Ones are hot or not, they still gonna cop, man. And thank y'all for watching, man. Before y'all go, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also that notification bell so you can stay in tune with the reviews, the on feats, the sneaker vlog, the sneaker news, and everything else that comes with the channel. I thank y'all for watching, man. Your future belongs to those who prepare today. Till tomorrow, y'all. Peace.